Okay, well, I think we are all set. Hey, welcome, Shelley. I just put you on mute, but as people are coming on, I know some people will trickle in late, and also I'm transitioning more over to YouTube too, because what I did was I wanted to what I was doing before in the past was I would make the video, record it on Zoom and then upload it to my YouTube channel. So what I just decided to do now is just go live on YouTube. And then this way it's on there permanently, unless I make it private. So if there's things I talk about, that I don't want everyone to know about, then I just make it private and then I'll share it with the group. But most of the things I'm going to go over are public information anyway, so it doesn't really make any difference. So what I'm going to talk about today is some of the new announcements that were made. And I'm just going to send out a quick message here real quick. And now. Okay. But yeah, some of the new announcements that the corporate side made and then how we can use this to our advantage. So let's go into it. So on the call, if you were on the call the other night, that we talked about the new technology that has just been released. And that's our new XL Air and Surface Pro. So let me see if I can bring up this real quick. Just give me 1 second. So I'm going to do a screen share here. And let me just pull this up so I can hear it. I just have to pull up my YouTube too, see if there's any chat messages or anything. So if you have any messages, you can post them on YouTube or you can put them in the chat. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and screen share when we jump right into it. So let me go to my website. Okay, here we go. So let's get into Air. And we're looking at the new Air and Surface Pro XL. So this is really the updated Air and Surface Pro. So what they've done is, this is pretty amazing stuff, is that we've actually now offer the XL, which is at the same price retail. You can see it right here. It's $1499.99, which is what we used to sell the Air and Surface Pro for. But what you're getting here is a machine that's a little bit bigger in size, and then it's also a lot bigger coverage area. So now what you're getting is with this machine is it says 2 7-inch active pure cells are larger and more powerful in helping reduce over 99.9% of surface and airborne contaminants faster. A redesigned air tunnel with increased airflow. So they redesigned the air tunnel to give more airflow, greater coverage. Now this is 3,500 square feet. In reality, it's probably a heck of a lot more than that. We're always very conservative on our numbers, but that's a true 3,500 square feet. It has a true HEPA filter, which is really cool. So now you have, before we had a HEPA sheet in our filter. With this is a true HEPA filter, which is big because some of the jobs that we were looking to do, whether it's for a school system or whatever, our biggest issues were always the fact that, in order to make a bid, you had to have HEPA. And now we can offer HEPA as a part of what we do. Not that that's what we rely on. I've had people say, oh, we don't talk about passive, air filtration, and why do we care about HEPA? But what it is just an added layer of protection that we now can offer that'll get us into more doors. So it'll get you into those hospitals and doctors' offices and dentist offices and things like that require, as a part of their bidding process, HEPA. So now we have a true HEPA filter, which is really good because it says it eliminates 99.97 dust, pollen, mold, bacteria, and airborne particles at the size of 0.03 micron. We know that with ionization and active pure, it doesn't really matter, but now we got it. Both active pure cells are always functioning when the unit is on, giving active purification decontamination day and night. Now, I've heard people complain and say, well, we like to just run one cell. Well, if that's the case, then let's just play it out here. And some people will say that. They'll say, well, yeah, I don't like the fact that 2 are always on, because then you're constantly having to buy cells. And I only like to run one cell on my machine. Okay, then buy an Air and Surface Pro. Okay, don't buy the XL. This is for people who have larger homes, buildings, things like that, and that they want to keep the air clean. My house, I always run 2 cells. In fact, there's a lot of times where I'm running 2 Air and Surface Pro machines, one in the upper level, one in the lower level. And with this, you'd need one. It's on all the time. Okay, so that's huge, and like I said, we have an alternative for people who say, well, I don't want to run 2 cells. Okay, then buy an Air Service Pro. Next, it says the optional ionization feature assists with particle removal and can help the efficiency of the HEPA filtration. So now they're making the ions, you can use it or you don't have to use it. Okay, I prefer to use the ionization. So that's one of the things where you get the machine. It used to be, with an Air Service Pro, when you sold somebody an Air Service Pro, then they had to push the AP button. And there's a lot of people who didn't know that. Like they're at a trade show, they buy a machine, they take it home, they're running it for 4 years, and they never turned on the on the cell. They never pushed the AP2 button. Now that comes on, and now you have to determine whether you want to add ionization or not. What do ions do? They drop particles. Why is it something that is now optional? Well, whenever we sell school systems and things like that, you always get somebody who's anti-ions, for whatever reason. Look, these are no ozone. It's carb certified. It's, not dangerous, but, you're still going to find people out there who are negative. Well, guess what? Just like I said with the other thing, you can now turn it off, right? You can turn off your ionization, which is really, really cool. So you don't have to worry about it. If anybody has issues with ions, which I don't know why you would, but there's a lot of weird people in the world. Okay. Next, it says the unit will automatically reset and function at the most recent setting after the power is restored. So this is something that's big because, like I travel a good bit. And especially when we lived in an apartment where, you'd leave, if I left for a month or a month and a half, and then I came home, after a long trip, the apartment was always really stale smelling. And the reason why is because never fails, the power blinks. And, on day 3 of my trip, and my machine shut off and it wouldn't, turn back on again. And then I go a month and a half with no machines running in my house, come home to kind of a stale smelling apartment. With this new machine, it's really cool because if the power blinks, the machine comes right back on to where you had originally set it. And this is big, really big for schools and churches and places like that where, here in Florida, especially, the power goes off all the time because we have huge storms this time of year. And, so the power goes off. You have a church that has, say 25, 30 units. You have a school that has 50 or 100 units. Somebody now has to go around and turn on 100 units after the storm goes through. And a lot of times it doesn't get done. Now with this feature, that's going to be something that we don't have to worry about, that it's going to go ahead and automatically come back on. So that's that. And then also just like before, we have maintenance reminders to clean and replace filters, cells, keep the unit running efficiently and effectively. Okay, and so then we can go into the some of the specifications of it. Included technology. So you have active pure technology with 2 cells, you have a HEPA filter, you have an activated carbon filter, and optional ionization. Now it's 100 and 240. So in other words, you get the DC power supply for 24 and whatever that means, 3-volt max, power consumption 56 watts. It's like a light bulb. So there's all that, mechanical, bunch of stuff there. Weights, 10 pounds. So it's a lot bulkier than the one we had before. Height, 4.17 inches. What's height? No, that can't be better. 4.17 by 11.7, and depth is 12 inches. So it's like, I don't get that height of only 4, but maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Okay. And the people who have it say it's a little bit louder because of the size of the fan, but you get what you get. Here we go. Limited warranty for 3 years. There's an owner's manual here, and here's your product sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the product sheet, see if it'll open for me. And if not, we'll just skip it. I don't think it's going to open on here. I have to change the page maybe. Let me look on here real quick. I might have to stop the share. Let me stop the share, and then let me bring the share back up again on the product sheet. Here it is. Okay, I want you guys to see this. Okay, so here's your product sheet. So just like this is all in the front office. This is everyone has access to this, and so you can use this. You can print this out. It has some information on it. It has, what we cover, your benefits to it. Active Pure Technologies proven to reduce viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens. So what this is, guys, it's just what we used to sell, but at a higher level. Now, here's some of the pluses to it. Well, we can just go down through here first. This is all the stuff I had talked about on the last page: limited warranty, the sound level, all that. Okay. And then you could take this, you could print it out, put your contact information, write it right in here, and use this as a handout if you wanted to. Print it front and back, put your info on it, use that as a handout. So that's a really cool addition to what we used to have. Let me just see if anybody on chat over here. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to chat. The one chat's going to be on delay, but if you're on Zoom, you can throw questions in the chat. Okay, so that's one. Let me stop the share on that one. Okay, so here's a couple things to run by on this one. This is a 100% positive. You can twist anything into a positive or negative. You say, oh, well, I bought machines. I bought a 5-pack and now I still have 4 and the price just lowered. So what? Have a flash sale. I mean, you're still going to make money on the machines that you have. Call everybody you know. Say, listen, I know that you were interested in look, I have probably 10 Air and Service Pros myself. Okay. I buy them as I go, I get them, I save them up for trade shows and stuff like that. I'm not telling people to carry inventory. In fact, I don't even teach people to carry big inventory whenever I teach people how to work the business. I always say, join with a pack, get the Pro Pack, become a product of the product, and then you sell from your back office. So if somebody needs a product, you just, hey, what do you need? Well, I need 2 Air and Surface Pros. Great. I go in my back office, I buy 3, have them shipped to me. I ship you 2. I keep the overflow. So now you have these machines. Call everybody you know that's been on the fence, but didn't have $1,500 and say, we're doing a flash sale. The price has been cut in half. And we're now selling them for $800 out the door. I pay tax and I pay shipping. Same great technology, nothing changed. What we did, though, is we came out with a bigger unit that replaced this unit, really. And these ones now you can get, there's no difference in what they're capable of doing. They've been our number one selling product for years and years and years. And so it's still a great deal, but now you can get it for half the price. So instead of spending $1,500, you can get it for basically $799.99 plus tax and shipping. So even if you sold them for $850 or whatever, whatever you determine to sell, or hey, these are mine, that they're in my inventory, I'm going to move them out. I'm going to push them out. Now, the other side of it is that we have a lesser price option now. So my biggest thing is I go to a trade show and I'm here with an Air and Surface Pro that's this size, it has 2 cells, or maybe I have a Pro Plus with 1 cell, 1 ozone, and there's a guy in a booth four yards down the aisle from me selling Triad Air or something, which looks very similar, has 2 cells, or it has, for them, they have ozone. So they're like our plus units, and they're selling them for $800. And so I'm 4 feet up the aisle, or 4 yards up the aisle, selling the same exact machine, $1,500. It's a heck of a lot harder for me to sell when there's competition like that. So now what's really cool is he can go ahead and continue to sell his. I have mine, same price, better. I can say, look, here's mine, no ozone, exact same price as the guy down the aisle, but check out our XL unit. And I could really boost the sale by setting the 2 side by side and showing people, look at the difference. Yeah, you can go buy an Air Service Pro, it's fine. But why not invest in something that's going to be a little bit bigger and better? And there's still the easy pay options and all the things that we've always had that you can plug people into to get them switched over. So like, hey, let's say you've been talking to a school system and that school system was just about to pull the trigger on Air and Surface Pros for $14.99 a piece. You call them back and say, I got some phenomenal news for you guys. We've upped our technology. Okay, so the same deal, nothing's going to change. The bid's the same, but now we're covering double the coverage. Your kids are going to be a heck of a lot safer, right? Now, let's just say flip the coin and you have a school that was on, or a doctor or somebody who was on the fence, And they're like, oh man, I was getting ready to do something, but now, the price has always been my stumbling block. You say, you know what, the exact same thing, I can get you now for half the price of what we were talking about before. And you know what's really cool is for us, the points. I mean, obviously, we don't make as much on the sale and all that kind of stuff, but a sale is a sale is a sale. I mean, cash needs to flow in order for a business to run. And so you can have, machines. I got a bunch of machines. Buying a machine is not going to make you successful in the business. Getting in and buying a 5-pack isn't going to make you successful, or buying a 15-pack. You have to be able to move the product. I have people who got in the business and they bought 5 machines, and 2.5 years later they're calling me, can you buy my machines? Can you buy my machines? And I'm saying, no, I don't. I have my own. Go sell them. Go out, make a concerted effort, move your own machines, because I never told you to buy 5. That was your own personal decision, right? But we have to be able to move product. So don't look at change as a negative, look at it as a positive. Because now the company's given us this huge deal on these machines that we can go back to everybody we've ever talked to. Go get all your old leads out from shows and all your contacts and everybody you've approached. And if you're brand new in the business, great. Now you have 2 options. We always used to say, guys, you need to have more than one option when it comes to technology. You need a higher point of entry and a lower point of entry. And you know what's great? If you're in the running for the trip, the big trip that's coming up next year to wherever the heck it is, to Sweden, Denmark, and all that. If somebody buys a 5-pack, it's still a point. An old 5-pack. If somebody buys an old 3-pack, it's still a point towards the trip. So, I mean, that side of it is really big, because now I got a lower point of entry for people where I can continue to move product. Yeah, I don't make the $200 like I used to. That side of it dropped, but I have the higher end, the better end, that people are so used to spending that. So I don't have to focus on the lower price item, but I have it as a fallback position. You know what? Hey, you don't like spending $14.99. Guess what? Why don't you get our Air and Surface Pro? It covers 2,000 square feet instead of 3,500. But it's a great product. We've been selling it for years. And it's a great entry point for you. Now, that's just one of the technologies we introduced. So let me just jump back over here and make sure that I'm on the right page. So no, I need to go back into my thing here. I want to bring up my, okay, here we go. Let me bring this up. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or whatever, just go ahead and hit me up. So I'm gonna do a screen share next on the other products that we've got that just came out. So let me bring up my screen share. Okay, let me go down to my mobiles. So here we go. We have the Fresh Air mobiles, retails $249.99. Now you can get the Fresh Air mobile with the rechargeable right here. So that's the rechargeable Fresh Air mobile. And why would you want to have a rechargeable mobile unit? Well, let's talk about it. Let me get to live here and make sure I can see myself. Okay, good. Yeah. So why would you want to have a, let me just do something real quick. I'm going to share this link, copy this and put it into the chat. This way people know where they're going. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, good. So why would you want to have a rechargeable mobile? Well, the thing is there's a lot of times where you're traveling. My wife and I have run into this where we have, if I'm on the road and I go into a restaurant or hotel, and it's just for the night, but I have the unit plugged into my cigarette lighter in the car, and I don't remember where I put the plug. Maybe I left it at home. So I'm always scrambling. Like thank God I have this one battery charger that we carry that has the cigarette lighter plug in it. I can use that, but that thing dies quickly. It doesn't last 8 hours. Or the other thing you can do is like I have that same charger has its own plug that actually happens to work with my mobile. But it was always one of the things where, you were scrambling to find something, right? So this is awesome because it's a rechargeable mobile unit. And this is something that, we've probably needed for a long time. But what's cool about it is it's a no ozone unit. Okay, so the old one, people always used to say, yeah, I bought that thing, and when I put it in my car, it has kind of a weird smell to it. And that's because there's two sides to our traditional mobile unit. There's the ozone, and then there's the active pure. So what they did with this is they took it off of the ozone and they just did active pure. And it looks like, if you look at it, there's an actual timer that you can set. So let's say you just want to keep it on for 2 to 4 hours, you can do that as well. You can switch it on and off. You can charge up the battery right from the device. And it's good for California now. So like California and Canada, where we used to have to go and do a special order through Eris and all this stuff, we don't have to do that anymore. So newbies, what is your recommendation of inventory on the beach? Okay, so yeah, good question. What should you have for inventory if you're new in the business? It really depends on what you're going to do with your business. If you're doing a healthy home showcase, showcases and home parties, it's good to have, like I always tell people, at least get yourself a pro pack to start. That gets you air, water, and laundry. And if you have the party at your house and you have those things hooked up and running, you're just showing people what you're already using. I recommend having a mobile and a personal unit for sure. H2 fuel bottle are nice, but if inventory is only as good as you're willing to go out and actually show it to people. So anyways, a little side note on that. So this is powered by rechargeable battery, giving you a greater versatility to breathe fresh, purified air anywhere you go. Touch sensitive settings provide ease of operation and function. Freshens air without the use of ozone, uses UVC light and active pure screen matrix to purify the air, features 2 to 4 hour timer, can be charged via USB, which is huge because now a lot of cars have USB ports, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a big deal, or a 3.0 or a 3.0 port, or using your included 120 VAC or 5-volt DC adapter. So this you can plug into the wall, you can plug into USB charger, and the box is tiny now, which is really cool because it used to have this massive long box, which especially at trade shows and stuff takes up a ton of room. And so anyways, there's some stuff on this. Here's your product sheet, which I'm going to bring it up, but I don't think it'll switch over on my video. No, I don't think it will. So I need to stop my share and bring that up. So let's do that. So anyways, in there is your product sheet. This is big. So right now, if you buy an XL, they're going to give you a free rechargeable mobile unit. Okay, so that's a really big deal. And they're actually, for us distributors, they're selling those in a 5-pack now at a discounted price. So that's big because that was something that we never had access to, was having a 5-pack of the mobile, the mobile units. That's something that we've been talking to corporate about. It's like, hey, why don't you sell those in bulk? And have some points attached to it and things like that to really incentivize people to buy. So for me, Shelly, your question is like, what type of inventory do you carry? It's really not so much about the inventory that I carry. It's about me being a product of the product. I never really recommend people carrying a ton of inventory unless you have a game plan for it. So like for me, I do a big 10-day trade show. I used to do a lot of trade shows, but I don't really like trade shows. So what I did was I picked the ones that I like the most. And the one for me, I have a big 10-day show. It's in March. And so I build my inventory towards that show. Okay. So as you get extra funds, or maybe you need points for the month or whatever the deal is, I start to get myself geared up for that particular show. And I know what I'll sell at it. At a show like that, I might sell, say 10 Air and Surface Pros, and I might sell 2 or 3 mobiles. So throughout the year, I'm starting to stockpile those things for that show with the intention of selling them at that show. Okay. But to just have inventory, it's really no advantage to you. You know what I mean? It's really not. So it's more important for you to be a product of the product. So make sure you're using the product. So like for this, they bring out the XL. Everybody should make it a point to get an XL at some point. You know what I mean? This way you have one to demo, you have one to use, you're showing it. And why not now? Because if you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I think it's free shipping and a free mobile unit when you buy an XL right now. So now you could have an XL and a mobile. Maybe you want to earn it. You could do a healthy home showcase and show people how to earn that, because right now with the HHS, which I think they renamed it the ELS or something like that. But either way, to me, it's always going to be HHS. With those, you can actually earn a mobile and Excel just by hitting, I think it's like 2,500 points at a show, which is like really nothing. I mean, you sign somebody with the Pro Pack and maybe sell a single unit, and now you've actually earned, as a host, you can earn a free Excel and a free mobile. So it's extremely, extremely easy to do that. Okay. And so there's a ton of other things that, that they announced on the call on Monday night. I really challenge everybody to jump on, watch the replay if you haven't already seen it. I'm going to try my best to continue to do my calls the way I'm doing them. Like I said, the biggest issue I was having in the past was I would do a call, and then there's this delay of getting it posted up, to YouTube for people to rewatch. Because obviously, like right now, a lot of people are at work, or, summer vacations happening, kids got activities and things like that. So a lot of people can't tune in at 11 a.m. And I get it. 11 to 12 on a Monday was never meant to be for the masses. This was to be an intensive kind of mindset training for people who are, in the business, but then they could come back at their own leisure and watch it. But here's the problem. I'm really slow at getting them put back up on there. So I think that switching to YouTube Live is going to be big. Now you can make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done it. I sent the link out because this way, every time I go live on Monday, you're going to get a notification that we're live, and then you can go back as much as you want, click on the live button on my page and watch. It's all dedicated to these lives. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there. It's just things that I'm trying to do to make myself better for everybody out there. Okay. So are we, at a good place in the business? I'd say 100%, absolutely. This whole new launch of these new products and programs that the company's, focused on that Monday night call it's big. You see, what happened is, I think that for years and years and years, this company was always just been kind of doing status quo. We never really made any changes, and we were always kind of running, against our own company. A lot of that our partner or sister companies, Eris, and Eris had access to everything that we had access to. And so, it was always kind of like Vollara was there, but it wasn't the main focal point. Well, coming through the pandemic and showing the numbers that we showed and having the success that we had really put the spotlight on the Vollara side of the Eris, family. And when they introduced the XL, we're the only people who have it now. So there's no competition. So you're not competing against your own company. We don't have, other companies selling the XL. We're the only ones who have access to that product. And so that's huge to know that you have a product that is your own individual product. Eris has a product called the Beyond, which is very similar now to our XL, but it's a different shape, different look. Theirs looks more like a big old time computer, so this is huge. So now we have a product that's in its own space. It does its own thing. It's got a cool look to it, and I think it's something that people are going to be attracted to. So yeah, jump a hold of it. And then so now let's switch gears a little bit. So we've gone over some of the new products. Now I want to switch into the mindset that we need to have to be successful in this business. How can you be a success in this business? Well, number one, you have to know that this business opportunity is a real opportunity. That it's not, this isn't just like a get rich quick deal. This isn't a network marketing model where only the top, people make a ton of money. It's not a model where you can achieve the highest rank and never work again. Which, I don't know any business that that's truly like that. If you're in a business where you can hit the top rank and never have to work again, then you have to really ask yourself, who's funding the top levels of those businesses? It's the people at the bottom who aren't making any money who are funding the success of the people at the top. And what I like about this is, I call our team integrity, because I have to have integrity in everything that I do. And when I vet a business, I have to make sure that the person at the bottom can make more than the person at the top. And in this business, has been proven over and over again. I've had months in this business where, even just recently, where the people on my team below me made way more money than I even made. And the people above me made good money too. But what that showed me is that the model isn't geared just towards the top. That means that, Shelly, you can come into this business And on Ruth, they can come to this business and they can make more than the person who's over them in any given month. It's really, I mean, you get the right people and the right deal and be at the right place at the right time. You can make a year's salary in a business like this in one deal. So that's the beauty of what we have to offer people. So I think the biggest, thing is knowing it. Like if you have to know it first. And so that's number one in mindset, is realizing what you have your hands on. Okay. And that there's not a lot of competition out there right now. I can't say that 2 years ago. 2 years ago, everybody was running, like everybody was like, pitching everybody, like you got to get into this business, or you need to get clean air, and schools were getting bombarded by every salesman in the world. And now all has kind of gone away. Here's the thing though, the schools still have a problem. The hospitals and the doctors' offices, they're still looking for a solution to the problem. The smoke has cleared in a sense that now they're not being hit every day. When you're in a business where you're getting approached day in, day out, day in and day out, you put up this wall of like, I don't want to hear anybody else, right? We've already got HEPA filters, we already got gloves, we've already wearing masks, we've already got Lysol, we've already done all these things. And so they put up this force field around them. But now that that's stopping, and the schools are still sitting there saying, wait a minute, we got Lysol, we have gloves, we have masks, we have all these things, but we're still getting sick days. Kids are still getting sick. They're still passing viruses around. Obviously what we put in place wasn't effective enough. I wonder who could help us. And no one's calling, right? Because they think, oh man, everybody's approached these people and they've already made their decisions and they've already spent all their money. But in reality, they're still waiting for you to give them a call, make contact with them. So make sure that we're on the proactive side of our businesses now more than ever. Realize where you're at. Even like I was talking about trade shows, when we first got in 2020, early 2020, late 2020, 2021, you couldn't even get a trade show because they were already booked. I'd call in, I'd say, listen, that's why I had to do shows in Pennsylvania, because all the Florida shows were booked. There was nothing available in Florida because everybody, what they did was they just booked them. I mean, there were people who'd never done a show in their life, and they called every trade show and they booked every trade show for an entire 2-year period. And now those people are not doing shows anymore because they realize it's not an easy way to make a living. But I tell you what, if you did a show consistently every month or every other month, you could make a full-time living in this business, because I've never had a show that I've lost money at. There's always, even if you sold 1 or 2 air and surface pros or a water, or you got a good lead, or you got a healthy home showcase out of it, or you got a free subscriber on the subscribe and save side, to me, that alone would make your show. And there's tons and tons of opportunity available to us right now. Why? Because a lot of people aren't doing them anymore. So, hey, look, if you said, hey, I have a full-time job, but I want to transition from my full-time job over to full-time Vollara, that's a great opportunity for you. Home shows, like, trade shows, and then doing healthy home shows at your own house are the best ways to kick off your business. Okay. So you can do HHSs where you invite a few friends and family over to your house. Okay. Or you could go out and book yourself a few trade shows. And you start to build the momentum in that. So, and look, guys, this applies to any business you'll ever do, whether it's Vollara or if you want to go out and do Amway or Tupperware or whatever. You have to create momentum in whatever it is that you do. I don't care if you're a real estate agent, if you're selling solar, if you're doing whatever it is that you do for a living. Even if, let's say, like I'm in ministry, right? So how do you start? You start where you're at with what you got. It's like when you first start anything you do, it's not like 50,000 people are calling because they don't know who you are and they don't know what you've got. And so the best thing to do is to start small. Don't get in over your head. The last thing I hate to see people do is book, like the show I do is a couple $1,000 just to get into the show. So I got like, $1,800 for the booth, and I got travel to Pennsylvania, and I've got inventory and the flooring and the decorations and all that stuff. So, before the show even starts, I've spent, $4,000 or $5,000. So if that show doesn't do a $20,000 show, then I just wasted my time. You know what I mean? But guess what? There's shows you can get into for a couple $100, 3-day shows. Go set up a booth, put out some machines, talk to people, give a free drawing. Hey guys, we're doing a free drawing for free. Now you could just give a free old Air and Surface Pro because the price is low enough. You can say, I'm going to give a free Air and Surface Pro. We're drawing one. Guess what? You call somebody and say you want a free Air and Surface Pro. You got a customer for life now, because they're still going to need cells and things like that. And then that's when you can upsell and say, hey, I can give you the free Air and Surface Pro, or I can give you $500 off of air, water, and laundry. So you can work your business in that way. But the thing is there's momentum. There's steps that you start to take, then the momentum will start to build. And guess what? Then your business starts to grow. Okay. And then what I like to do is with my HHS I offer the business opportunity to people, because it's twofold. We can go wholesale retail all day long, which is good. But to me, I'm a sharer. I like to share the business opportunity with people, because now you've opened up someone else's network to you. Shelly has a network that I don't have access to. Like Dave in Pittsburgh has a network that I don't have access to. Christina knows people that Mark doesn't know. Dale knows people that Ruth don't know. I mean, even though we're connected, we have connections outside of our inner circle of people. A lot of times we get so inner focused that we go, man, there's nothing available because everybody at my church does the business, or everybody I'm around does the business, right? But you don't realize that you have connections outside of your church. That's the first thing I did was I said, okay, the church is good because that's where a lot of growth was happening. But I said, who do I know outside the church? Well, I know a bunch of people in Pennsylvania. I know a bunch of people in New Jersey, New York, and Ohio. And so that's what I started to reach out to in Indiana and all that stuff, So, these are things that I started to do in the early days, was to pull myself out of your tight circle that's already doing the business and start to turn outward and say, okay, who do I know in these other areas that I can plug into my business to? It's all about mindset. Okay, let's see. It says, I like all the freebies you offer, the deals. Do you just do that on the fly, or have a list that you can opt to use and give away? No, so basically for me is you want to know going into your shows kind of what you're giving away. And then there are some things that I'm led by the Holy Spirit, really, so it's like we've had shows where the numbers are down. And like I did my last big trade show, my numbers were down. And the Lord basically told me to give away an Air and Surface Pro just on the fly, right on the floor of the show. And so that last day of the show, my numbers were still way down. Lady came up, we had a conversation, and I knew that she needed it, but I knew she'd never spend the money on it. And my wife looked at me, she's like, hey, this is the one. And so I just packed her up a Air and Surface Pro, walked over and gave it to her. And her husband or boyfriend or whatever ended up buying, I think, 3 more right then and there. And then she bought some more. I don't know what she bought, a personal unit or a mobile unit. But then when people saw that transaction happen, it was like the floodgates broke and everybody started buying. So there's times where I do it on the fly, or to close a deal, I will. So let's say I'm working with somebody, and then let's say I'm working with you, Shelly, and then I go, I can tell that you really, really want it, but you're having trouble pulling the trigger on it. And I look, what the worst thing you can do is let somebody walk away because they're never coming back. If somebody, and very, very rare, I can't say never. I mean, I've had people say, I'll be back at this is a 10-day show. Today we're walking, next week we're buying. And they will come back. I mean, that occasionally happens, but 99% of people who say, I'll be back, they don't come back. So I need to close the deal, and so look, what would it take to get you today to make a decision? I mean, I can't go much on the price, but if you were to buy today and I gave you a free mobile unit, would that help close the deal for you? Because now you could have one in the car, or if I can give you an H2 fuel bottle or whatever, and I look around my inventory and say, what do I have that I'm willing to just part with and give away to close a deal? And so those are things that you can do on the fly. Like a lot of times, even at our Healthy Home shows, the host will buy a gas card, a $50 gas card, a $25 gas card, and then they do a drawing. And so whenever they're inviting people, they say, we're doing a drawing for $50 off, gas to help you get here to the meeting. And then what they do is they put everybody's name in a little bucket, they pass the bucket, they pull the name, boom, right then and there, somebody gets $50 for coming to the meeting. So there's things that you can do to incentivize people, to show up. There's things you can do to get them to buy. And then I have my giveaway. So normally for a giveaway at a drawing, like if I'm doing a drawing, I was always given $500 off of one of our major technologies, so it was air, water, or laundry. That's how I did it. In the past, going forward, what I'll probably do is just give a free Air and Surface Pro, the original model, not the XL, to the person who wins the drawing. Or I could say, hey, you want a free Air and Surface Pro, or I'll give you, say, $500 off of the laundry, or $500 off of the water unit, or maybe $1,000 off of the whole house protection. But the choice is yours. And this way you can have more winners at a show. So if all you're doing is giving Air and Surface Pros away, I can't call 50 people and say, hey, I'm giving you free Air and Surface Pro. I can't do it. But I can give 50 people $500 off, because this is something that's big for them. It's a huge deal for somebody who gets the $500 off, but it's something I can do in volume, right? Because I have some money. I'm not making the money that I normally would make on a deal, but it's something that I can to help to promote my brand and to show that we care about the public. Is anybody who comes to the show could get $500 off. You could really, to make a long story short, or long answer to a short question, it's really what you're feeling at that particular moment. What are you feeling that you should be doing for your people? Like you could say, hey, Healthy Home Showcase, I'm giving $250 off of anything you buy today. Not off of vitamins, but off the major technologies. Okay. And then I'm going to give you free subscription. So that's what I'm going to segue into now for the last portion of this meeting, is really how to be successful with the free subscribe and save. So obviously in the past, we had the form that you had to fill out for subscribe and save for free. Now you can come on as a customer for free, or you can come on as a rep. So this is where you have to make a decision. When you're talking to the person, are they going to be a customer, or are they going to be a sales rep? What's the difference for you? Okay, well, where do you want the points to fall? Number one. Okay, so do you want that person to be a customer? If they're a customer, their points become your personal points. So that person, let's say they go on a free subscription for Essentials for Life, and it's 60 points. Those 60 points show up as your personal volume every month. What does that mean for you? Well, let's say as a rep, you need to have 100 points to get paid. Now you only need 40 points to get paid, because that person is a customer. They're paying full retail. I mean, obviously they get a discount because they're on subscribe and save, but those points come to you. The flip side of that is that I bring them on as a partner, as a business partner. So now those points that they put in are their personal volume, which means I make an override on those points. Okay, because they're under me now. It's not an active leg, but it's a person that's under you that could potentially do something big for your business. So you really need to determine, what are you looking for? Are you looking to eliminate your expenses on a monthly basis? Like I have to come up with 200 points a month as a gold executive and above. So what I do is I have a few people who are actually preferred customers who buy every month. They usually buy around the 15th. So then after the 16th, 17th of the month, I can see, okay, this many points came in, 140 points came in. I need to buy 60 points worth of products personally to make sure that I have my 200 points to get paid for the month. So you can do it that way, or you can drop those in depth and start to build a team. And this is what we've seen on a corporate wide. What they've seen is a lot of people who come in, let me just go back here. I'm gonna do a screen share, who come in on the free subscribe and save, are actually then transitioning into buying air and service pros or laundry or water. Okay, so the company is actually now going to incentivize them with a drip campaign. So they're going to drip on them with emails. And with those emails, they're going to say, hey, you know, why don't you buy yourself an air and service pro? Now it'll be probably the XL, and we'll give you X dollars off of the wholesale price, which means now they're getting, getting a free month subscription, and they're getting a discount on the wholesale price. Well, not on the retail price, but on the wholesale price of an air service pro. Now check this out. So let me get over to my page. So what they did, move this around here. If I go over here, it says buy now or join business associate. And now I got to go over to here. So just give me 1 second. Okay, let me bring up, where is it? Here we go. So let me do this. Here we go. Sure. Sorry about that. I have to just readjust the way I share my screen so you guys can see it, because it tries to open it up in a new tab. And then I got to make sure you're seeing it. There we go. Okay, good. So what you're seeing here is the new join button. Obviously, they're going to need to know your secret password. You can't just go on my site, put buy now or join and join. There's a password that the person's going to need. But what I like about this is right here, they can pick technology, risk-free. But why do risk-free? Like risk-free needs to go in the trash can, right? You don't need it anymore. Because we have the new subscribe and save and join with the first month free with the products that they can choose from. So there's no more risk-free, in my opinion. You don't need it. Okay, because if somebody's going to join, they're going to join for free, and they're going to join with a free first month subscription. Now they're getting a taste of some of these products. If I could go back, and I say this all the time, if I go back in time to when I first started and have everybody get a free subscription, my income today would probably be 4 times what it is currently, because I would have so many people who are loving the products. Because let's face it, guys, if you join my business on a pro pack, you bought it. You're never buying another one. You may start selling them, but you're never going to buy another one. But with Essentials for Life, when you get a taste of that, you're going to want it every month after month after month after month after month. Okay, so check it out. Essentials for Life. It's normally normally $77.97 or 99, $77.99. First month's free. And then after that, it's only going to be $62.39. Free shipping. Okay, now you can show them right on there. There's a product sheet. There's a video right there. Okay, so they could literally join your business and get a $77 value. How about Keto Zones? $103.99, $103.99 for the first month's free, guys. First month, 100% free. They're gonna, after that, $83.19. Okay. Now check it out what it says. It says you can easily modify, pause, add, or remove products from your subscription by calling Vollara 1-800-989-2299. What does that mean? That means that now there's no risk at all. So you talk about risk-free. This is risk-free on steroids, because guess what? They're getting a free product, 100% risk-free. They join the business for the first year for free. Yeah, at the end of the year, you got to renew. It's $31, but they give you $31 product credit. Make sure you guys, when you're renewing your subscription, your at the end of your first year, when you go to renew, make sure that it's showing a coupon in your back office for that amount of money, and use it. Check your back offices. Make sure that you're using all your free money. How about Resist with Imulina? I mean, this is huge. So this one here is first month's free, normally $54.99. They get it for the next 6 months for $43.99 plus tax. Okay. Resist is amazing. If you know, this is your booster. This is your booster shot, right? So this has Imulina, vitamin C, D, zinc, elderberry, echinacea. You know, you take one a day and it'll keep you from getting too sick, right? And then Revive is your energy booster. All right, so this is huge, guys. I mean, if you're not using this, now is the time to get in and use it. Well, I missed it, Mark. I'd signed up and I didn't get the. So what? You know, good to get in there and get. If you've never been on a subscription, today's your day. Just go and get on it. All right, you have nothing to lose. $44.99. They're dropping the price to $39.99. Okay. Just to clarify, they get one free under subscribe and save on first month. Yep. So basically, when they click on this option, they're going to join your business. They're going to enter their credit card information. Everything's done now electronically. You know what the biggest issue was? On the sheet, I don't know if it even asked you for their social security number. And even if it did, now you've got a piece of paper with somebody's social security number, credit card number in it. They could have been lost or dropped or whatever, right? So people get weird about stuff like that. I mean, unless you're like Hillary Clinton with a personal shredding machine and you can shred everything that as soon as you're done using it. Most of the times people are weird about that. What are you going to do with that sheet? Where's it going to go? Who's going to see it? It's got my social security. So they don't put it on there. So what I was having to do is I was having to get them to fill out the sheet. Oh, you know, then I would go in, set them up as a customer, get their information online, and then put information's already on file to make people feel good. And guess what? A lot of people, they wouldn't give you the social security number. And look, if somebody's not willing to give their social, then just sign them up as a customer, get them the free subscription, because you're never going to get paid unless the company has your information to pay you. So why do we need your social security number? Why do we need your tax ID number? Because the government wants to make sure that they can take every last dime they can from you. So guess what? They need that information. The company will not pay somebody if they don't have their social security number on. Okay. So make sure that with this, it's all automated. Here, go to my link, sign up, get yourself something for free. My secret password is, you know what it is, right? And if you don't, I'm not going to say it on here because I'm on live. Guys, if you're interested, if you're watching live on YouTube, maybe somebody just is jumping on here watching this that isn't even a part of the business and you want to get yourself first free month subscription, just direct message and I'll give you the steps to get it. I mean, guys, it's that simple, right? It's that simple. You know, you go out and you share this with a few people. Have some sheets printed out, and if you want to go the old school way, have some sheets printed out. Maybe what we need to start doing is investing in things like the old days. Get yourself an iPad, and when you're at a trade show, you just say to the person, "Hey, do you want to have a free any of these vitamins? We're giving them away for free. All you have to do is just come on here, you fill out this quick online form." And the person's like, "Why does it need my credit card?" Well, because you're going on a subscription. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down this phone number. Okay, keep it in your notes on your phone or wherever. And if you're not happy with what you got, you can call in at the end of the month. You can change it. But guess what? Get the free one first. I mean, I did the same thing with HelloFresh. You know, I got moved into my house. They gave me HelloFresh. I got 20 meals for free. And I was like, man, I'm going to cancel this thing after I use all my free meals. And but what I realized is it was worth the value. I mean, for $70, I got 4 meals for 2. You know, it's 8 meals a week. They everything I needed. There was no waste. I didn't have to run the grocery store, and so I kept it. And then I realized, what, I can change the meals. I can pause the meals. I'm going to be out of town for 4 weeks. I can go and I can X off 4 weeks. I don't have to get it anymore. The same exact thing with your Vollara subscription. You can change it. You can edit it. You can say, well, I got keto zones to start because it was the most expensive one, but let me try out the month I'm going to pay for it. Let me switch it over to Revive. Let me switch it over to Resist. Let me switch. So I always challenge people, like, listen, get the one that you like on your bucket list one that I'll never want to pay $105 for a supplement. Just won't ever do it. then that's the one you're going to want to start with. Because guess what? If you love it, great. Then you'll know this was worth the $105 a month or whatever with a discount, the $99 a month, for me to feel good, to have my body running at a different level and to be burning fat. And then some of you are going to be like, well, I like these 4, but what else do they have to offer? Maybe you want to try Perfect Start. Maybe you want to try, and you could go down through the list of some of the CBD creams or whatever, whatever you're into. So that's the beauty of this subscribe and save and join. Listen, the reason why my business was so successful and is so successful, and why we made Platinum 5 in the first, I think we started in December, and by September we were Platinum 5s. Okay, Platinum 5, that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, I could almost guarantee you in the percentage of people in this company, we're in the top 1% of people who have actually made that level. And how did I do it? I did it by signing people up for risk-free. Nobody bought anything my first month. 12 people joined my business. The second month, 12 people joined my business personally, but my team started to grow. By June, we had over 1,000 people on our team. Well, then it hit 2,000. You get 2,000 people on your team, your business is going to explode, even if they join for free. Because what's going to happen is people join, they want to make money. How do you make money? By being a product of the product. And eventually those people who join for free are going to get a pack. They're going to get a whole, and I don't care about 5 packs. If I never ever sell a 5-pack again the rest of my life, I'm perfectly happy with that. But a pro pack, when you get 2 air, a water, and a laundry, and $75 off of vitamins, to me is an absolute 100% no-brainer for everybody. If you're in the business and you don't have a pro pack, you need to get one. If you don't have the money for one, do it on a 4 easy pay, but you need to have it. And then what happens is what I saw was, because people came on for free, I challenged people. You need to get a pro pack, do an HHS, book a trade show. Then all of a sudden my numbers started to increase. Boom, 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 boom. To where you're making what I used to make in a year, I was making in a month. Okay. So that's the growing part. Now imagine if I could have rewound to day one, and instead of coming in risk-free, I brought them in on the subscribe and save and join free. What my numbers would be like today. 2,000 people on my team. If 2,000 people bought 50 points a month, what does that look like as a bottom line to hitting bonuses and winning trips and things like that? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, 2,000 people aren't buying 50 points a month. They're not. But let's just say they were. So if I had 2,000 people who joined my business times 50, that's 100,000 points a month. 100,000 points a month. So going forward, this is something that everybody needs to be starting people on. You know what? Guess what? Those last 2,000 may never buy a subscription, but that doesn't mean that in the next 2 years, I can't put 2 more thousand people in my business for free on a subscription. And this time next year, I have 100,000 points. You know what? 100,000 points, 100,000 points, even if you were making 20% of that, is $20,000 a month. That's $240,000 a year. 240 on bringing in 2,000 people on a free subscription that only buy 50 points a month. That's it. You could be making 240,000. Drop it in half. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say you have 2,000 people that buy 50 points a month. Okay. Let me just do this. 2,000 times 50. Once again, that's 100,000 a month. Let's just make it times 10%. That's 10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year. And why 10%? Because some of you guys are going to be just business associates because you don't have enough active legs or whatever. But you could be a business associate with 100,000 points coming in a month, making 10 grand a month, $120,000 a year. How did you do that? By giving away free subscriptions It's a no-brainer. Anyways, guys, look, it's 12 noon. I always promise to keep this thing at 1 hour. I bless each and every one of your businesses today. We pray that God's favor comes upon your life. The Bible says that he gives us the power to create wealth. He says that you'll be rich and he has no sorrow to it. So we thank you, Lord, for a sorrow-free way for people to have wealth in their life that's for the right purposes, for the right plan, for the plan that you put on their life. We pray it all in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, we'll see you this time next week. I'm going to go ahead and end it. This is actually live on YouTube, so you can go back or you can watch the replay. And hopefully I'll be on here next Monday. Who knows? We're traveling. We're going to be traveling hopefully soon to Pennsylvania and then down to New Jersey. But as much as I can, I'm going to try to be on here live, even if it's for a little bit. And but you know how it goes. So anyways, if I'm not on next Monday, you can catch a replay. If not, we'll see you here. All right. See you, everybody.